Yes. It's so exciting. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. World peace through individual strength. Waking up the globe in the mornings, physically and mentally and spiritually. And then physically again. Feeling better objectively. Your morning would. Feels so good on Pal Go On. Good morning. Good morning. Guess what day it is? It is Tuesday, True Love Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. Good morning. It is your only no nonsense podcast. Brought to you through the Best Feeling Network. My name is Herbie. Good morning. And welcome to Pal Go On. Today on True Love Tuesdays, we discuss how she says she likes strength. She said she likes strength. What the hell does that mean? I got bumped, but she said she don't like me. We'll see you in a second. Good morning. I hope you're doing so well out there. I hope you're able to feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches. When? At all of the times. Are you feeling the front of your shins and then remembering that you do not sit on your legs? Are you kicking off the blanket off your feet? Or are you just hanging out? Are you already up before I am? How are you? What are you doing right now? Are you looking up at the sunrise? Are you looking down at the sunset? Where are you right now? Maybe you brought us along with you to the beach. Where the hell are you right now? Are you on a skyscraper looking out at the sunset/sunrise? Or maybe it's in the afternoon and you're just getting up and rubbing your eyes. Or maybe you're just having lunch. Maybe you got a call from your friend. What you up to today? Are you stretching your self-awareness like a muscle with us this morning, afternoon, night? I don't care wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you for joining me, Herbie, here on Pal Go On, where we stretch our self-awareness like a muscle. Remember to always allow all of these words to enter one ear and then out the other. Say it with me. In one ear and out the other. Say it with me. In one ear and out the other. One more time, say it with me. In one ear and out the other. How does that feel? How does your sense of self feel as you do that? How is your body feeling this morning? On True Love Tuesdays, she said she likes strength. We're gonna give you a moment to feel your way to the body down the front of the spine and feel so great at all of the times on Pal Go On. We're gonna give you a moment to do all of that. But first, I wanna ask you, what do you think about True Love Tuesdays? I wanna know what you think. True Love Tuesdays, what do you think about True Love Tuesdays? And the fact that she says she likes strength, what does that mean to you? How does that make you feel? She says she likes strength. Have you heard that before? I like strength. Have you ever heard that before? Women like strength. Women like power. Women like strength. Have you ever heard that, or have you ever just heard women lack strength. The women lack strength or women like strength? Have you ever heard that before? Women likes strength. She said she likes strength, Herbie. She said she likes strength, Herbie. Let's go pump some iron, Herbie. What are you doing here? Let's go get buff and jacked. She said she likes strength, you know? We're taking it easy, you know? Get out of bed. Stretch those muscles from all the way down to your toes, back of the heels, all the way up to your head. Are you allowing these words to go in one ear and then out the other? And then noticing your sense of self as it affects itself as you imagine that. Here on Pago, everything is literal. Everything is so literal. Literal. Because it's your body. Your body is so literal. What do we mean by that? As in, your body is so smart, you human godlike body thing, you. It's so smart. Your body is so smart that it does stuff without you even knowing it. Without you even being able to define it, your body already knows what to do. In some ways, right? If you've ever been snowboarding, if you've ever been biking even, skateboarding, if you've ever walked, if you've ever been a crawler, if you've ever been so fortunate as to crawl in your life, if you remember back to your baby years crawling towards a block or maybe a little xylophone or maybe a spinny toy that makes moo sounds, then you know that your body is so smart. Your body is so smart that it just does things without you even trying. You just align towards your balance. You're just like, yo, I want to go in that direction. When you're snowboarding or you're skateboarding or you're walking, you're just like, I want to go that direction. And whether you're sleepy, drunk, sober, or in any other state, your body has some way of getting over there. No matter the internal state that you're in, it will somehow achieve the outward effect of getting that goal. You might have a different path towards getting that goal, whether you're drunk, sober, high, or sick, or anything like that. You might have a different path. You might do a beeline, or you might go straight, or you might go around the whole room before you go to this spot. But our bodies have a way of getting to where it needs to be. Unconsciously, right? And at first it sounds so mystical. You're like, Herbie, wow, you're just talking about, yeah, that's some manifest stuff, right? No, we're not talking about manifest stuff. I mean, like, actually, like, physical coordination. How is your snowboard coordinated towards going to that spot? When you're walking, are you thinking about each individual step? Like, bam, 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 I want that left foot to go a little bit further. Oh, then the last one, okay, a little bit further on the right foot this time. Okay, left foot can go higher this time. You're not thinking about that. It's just an overall motion, right? It's just an overall motion, right? Here on Padawan, everything's so literal. As in, when I say in one ear and out the other, imagine your ear. Imagine these words going in one ear and out the other, and allow your body to align to that, the same way that your body would align to maybe walking or snowboarding towards a specific spot. You know how your balance kind of just orients towards that very naturally. Or if you were walking, like I said, your body just kind of knows what to do as long as you think about, okay, I'm going to go to the left here, I'm going to move over here, or I want to position my vision over here, and your body just kind of follows, right? Our bodies are so smart that it just kind of just does things on our own, right? So in here on Padawan, we're so literal. We're saying in one and out the other. What does that mean? Allow these words to enter in one ear and out the other and actually see how your body feels. How does your body actually orient if you were to allow yourself to balance that way? In one ear and out the other. Everything is so literal here. So on True Love's Tuesdays, when she says, I like strength, or when she implies that she likes strength, or when you ascertain the fact that she likes strength, whether she likes it, or whether she likes to tell you that or not, when you finally ascertain that, how do you feel about that? How does your body feel? How does your sense of self feel? She likes strength. What does that make you think about? She said she likes strength. Let's go pump some iron. Let's go to the gym. You wanna go? I have a gym membership. Let's go. Right now, you and me. Let's go. Nobody's watching. Let's go. I won't tell nobody. Go brush your teeth. Go, 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 go. Go eat some cereal. Let's go. Eat some pre-workout in that thing. Let's go, 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 go. You ever see those Instagram videos or those TikTok videos lately? Like, what if everybody did everything in a rush? What would it look like if you did everything in a rush? And there's just these two dudes who are just setting their days up for each other, like running in a circle in the room, getting dressed while the other one's throwing clothes at him, opening the door for him while he runs out the door and then closes the door behind him. The other guy does and do all this teamwork stuff. That's me and you right now. Let's go. Let's go to the gym. She said she likes strength. Let's go. She said she likes strength. Let's go. When you are in the mating mode that some people in their lives are fortunate to get into and feel comfortable being in and have a great time being in, when you are in that dating mode, what should we look for when we say strength? What is strength? What do we mean by strength? To lift up rocks? Is that why they will mate with me? Because I will lift up rocks for you? You will do the dirty with me? Because I will lift up rocks for you? If I pick up these stones, you will do the horizontal tango with moi? Let's go! Lift up stones! So does that mean every guy who cannot lift up a big stone is doomed? They are never attractive again? Let me hear from the ladies. Is this true, ladies? Ladies! Is it true that if a man is too small, or if he can't lift up the rocks, that you will not date him, that you will not mate with him at all? Is that true for every lady? All of you attractive ladies, inside and out. Tell me, I want to hear from you. All you ladies, inside and out. All you ladies, beautiful, inside and out. Are you telling me that a man that is small, that cannot lift up rocks or boulders at all, is not someone who is worth giving back a call? Is that what you're telling me? You would never meet him? You would never meet with him at the mall? Is that true? Is that the strength that we look at? To raise these boulders? Who needs to lift up a floor panel? Who needs to rip open a door? We need a door frame demolished by a man with no tools, but strictly physical strength. Is that what we're looking for? What kind of strength are we talking about? Are we talking about the strength? I mean, that's great, right? Right? Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want a door frame ripped down? Right? Why do we need strength? What are we talking about? Right? Let's think about that. What do we mean by strength? Like, as in, like, my body has to be able to lift up a boulder, to move a mountain, to wrestle a bear, collapse a tree with a single kick from my shins. What is it? We'll be right back. Feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine, and then into the rainbow arches at all the times. And are you feeling the front of your shins? Remember that you do not sit on your legs. You will be right back. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. World peace through individual strength. Waking up the globe in the mornings, physically and mentally and spiritually, then physically again. Why? To feel good objectively. Yeah. Your only no-nonsense podcast brought to you by the Best Feeling Network through the Best Feeling Network. I'm your host, Herbie. Good morning, and this is Go On. It is 5:49 a.m., about to be 5:50 a.m. on Tuesday, True Love Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. I hope you're feeling amazing today on True Love Tuesdays. Remember to always allow all of these words to enter in one ear, then out the other. Yeah. What is strength? Is it the ability to get out of bed in the morning? Does that take strength? Is it the ability to laugh at a funny joke? Does that take strength? Is it the ability to... Is it the ability to take a joke? Does that take strength? Is it the ability to lift a rock? Does that take strength? Is it the ability to destroy a nation? Is that strength? The ability to pull yourself out of a horrible situation, a horribly embarrassing situation, does that take strength? Does it take strength to not eat a McGriddle that is in front of your hands? She said she likes strength. So you know what I had to do. You know what I had to do. I had to pick up heavy stuff and put it back down a bunch of times. Because she likes strength. She said she likes strength. She said she likes strength. What does that mean, though? I want to bring up an example of the game of chess as we are waking up here in the morning as the sun is starting to creep up. I wanted to bring up the example of chess. If you are playing a game of chess and someone is very proficient at chess and they're kicking butt, are they what you would call strong? Oops, that's strong. Would you think that they were called strong? Strong at chess. Is being strong at chess different than being strong at weightlifting? At being a strong programmer? Are those different than being a strong candidate for nursing? Are those different from being a strong actor? Are those different from being a strong mother? Where do we think that we see strength? Where does strength come from? What do we think about strength? Is strength the ability to move the world? Or is strength something that has to do with us, human beings, and our ability to shape ourselves, to get ourselves out of a horrible situation, for example, embarrassment or something like that? And how does your sense of self feel, even just confronting that idea? What is strength? Does it come from the inside? Do we discuss strength about from the inside as something we see as people overcoming something from within? Embarrassment? Feeling closeted? Is that strength to be able to come out about that? Is that strength? Is strength something that we see on the inside? Or is it something that we only see on the outside? Something like being able to push a rock over a cliff to destroy a bokoblin? Or do we see strength as something that's in the inside for human beings? To get over things that we know plague us at night, trauma, what have you? Is getting over trauma strength? Or is strength only something that is on the outside world? The ability to lift a table beyond what you would expect. The ability to hold a heavy baby in the stomach. Shut up, Herbie, it's not a stomach. The ability to throw a heavy bowling ball, or rip the floorboards from the ground. Do we see strength as something only on the outside, or do we see strength as something only on the inside? What team are you? Which one do you see strength in? What do you believe strength to be? Something that have to be measured on the outside world? Is that strength? Be able to affect the outside world? Is it only a physical thing? Is it possible to have a strength in chess? Is it possible to be strong in a game of chess? Is it possible to play a game strongly? To be a strong player of that game, is it possible? Do we respect someone whose strength is in math? Do we consider that a strength? Can we be considered to have strength in math? Can we be considered to have strength in music? Can we be considered to have strength in comedy, in comedic value? Can we be considered to have strength in any of those abstracts? In those ideas, can we be considered to have strengths in those, or is strength something only physical? Is there strength in discipline? Or is strength only in the material physicality of what manifests on the outside? Is strength lifting up something heavy, or is strength something only internal? When she says that she likes strength, is there only physical strength to consider? In reality, we recognize that aren't there two types? There is that outer strength. There is that strength to affect the world, even if it is through chess, or even if it is through program, still affecting the outside world. A strong programmer, a strong mathematician, a strong player of Call of Duty all have value in the same way. That being able to lift a heavy door, being able to, I don't know why door is an example when that swings open, being able to lift a heavy brick, a heavy piano, a heavy object, being able to lift those things have just as much value also as having strengths in other things, right? Why? Because there are jobs that need to be done, right? A bed that needs to be moved, a program that needs to be written, a plant that needs to be subplanted and placed into another garden. And so these require physical things in the world that need to be affecting the world with a certain amount of strength, with a certain amount of vigor, a certain amount of skill, a certain amount of tact, a certain amount of discipline. If we're talking about math or computer science. Requires amount of discipline. Requires a certain amount of strength. Why? So that things in the world can get done. If a house needs to be fixed, there needs to be people who have strengths in fixing things in regards to house. Now, is this always physical things? Not necessarily, because strength in architecture, construction, gardening, all things go into making a house a pleasurable place. Things that need to be done on the outside world. See, people with strengths. Strengths. Like getting up in the morning. Like being able to get up and discipline yourself to get up in the morning. To be able to solve that math problem. To be able to have discipline in yourself to not let yourself go so that you can maintain the relationships with your friends and family. Requires strength. Inner strength. Deep inner strength. Why? Because things need to be done. You need to go to work. You need to have strength to go to work. You need to have strength to be able to discipline yourself so that you can take care of yourself, even so that you can go to the bathroom, so that you can go to the shower, so that you can properly clean yourself, so that you can even regulate yourself long enough to maintain a relationship with the things around you that you care about. It requires strength. It requires strength. Now, how do we know what strength looks like? We know that things require strength. We're all attracted to strength. Even things that we think do not attract us due to strength, it attracts us due to another kind of strength, a different kind of strength. It might be submission. How can you put yourself through that? A terrible situation, Herbie, and allow yourself to be treated like that for so long. Dolly, how do you do that to yourself? Sherry, how do you do that to yourself? Wanda, how do you do that to yourself? You end up respecting them in a way too, because it's like a different kind of strength, a deep inner strength to be able to handle things that you would otherwise not be able to. This deep inner strength. We are attracted to strength. Why do girls like jerkwads, as they say? Because they emanate with some kind of strength. And when you're younger, the easiest kind of strength to understand is an outward strength, an outside world experience of strength. Bigger, physically stronger, physically faster, things that you can see on the outside world that do not necessarily imply too much meaning that's all too relevant to the average person, to the average folk. Do we necessarily see strength as something that's just physical? Or rather, do we see the physical strength as the utmost and highest type of strength? Maybe that's not the highest type of strength, and our brains and bodies are so strong, since they do everything so literal, that they know. Our bodies maybe already deep down know that this physical strength is one of the weaker kinds of strength. Why? Because you physically cannot be at all places at all times. You're not a god. You do not encompass the entire world. Your body is not enrapturing the whole world. Your body does not stretch across the whole world, so your physical presence can only be so far. So is that strength stronger than a political kind of strength where you can control waves of people, influences of people, waves of people like the Purge or something, like boom, like freaking Zergling Rush, get him, versus one person? You might be freaking Jackie Chan. You might be Bruce Lee mixed in with Jackie Chan. You might be Jackie Chan times Bruce Lee times Jackie Chan times Jet Li. And you're still just one person. You might be Terminator times Jackie Chan, and you're still one person. So someone controlling mobs of people, able to control mobs of people, influence mobs of people, empower mobs of people for their usage. Is that not stronger than one physical body's strength? Do we not recognize that already? Now, is strength just the ability to just like throw all of your strength onto your will to hurt somebody? Is that what we see strength as? The ability to influence people, yes, but to do what? To do mobs of things for terrible things. Is that what we consider strength? For the ability to do that for their dastardly deeds? In some ways. Because what are we fighting? What do we want in life? What do we want in life? To be safe, to be happy, to be safe from threat. So do we just respect the fact that you can just like have mobs of people and then now you can impose your will on things? Is that what we like? Is that what we see strength as? What do we want in life? The ability to crush our foes? Is that all we want? Do we all come out the womb already having natural foes in one another? Is that what we want? To destroy our foes? Is that our main objective? Is that why we respect people if they can have influence like a mob of people? To destroy our foes? What do we want in life? She just wants strength. Against what? What game are you playing? Chess is different than weightlifting is different than snowboarding, is different than running, is different than jumping, is different than chess again. Strong in all those different things humans can be, but what is it that we truly want when we say strength? When we're talking about mates in True Love Tuesday, when we're talking about looking at each other like mates, the sex wars, right? There's a book called Sperm Wars, I believe. When we're looking at the relationship between the sexes on True Love Tuesdays, what do we mean by strength? You can be strong at all those different things. Chess is different than snowboarding, just different than running, is different than walking, is different than sprinting. But you can be strong at all those different things, but not necessarily strong in one of those things makes you strong in all of those things. So what do we mean by strength? Isn't there a simpler definition? And why might a simpler definition be awesome? Well, doesn't it allow you more freedom to apply that definition to other things with more safety, knowing that you're doing the right thing? Yeah, strength. What is the strength thing? What game are you playing is what we need to know before we know about the strength thing. Well, aren't we all playing the same game as the human condition? Aren't we all just trying to overcome suffering together? As we always talk about on Pal Go On, we're going to take a break here so you can feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all of the times. And remind yourself to feel the front of the shins as you're remembering to ask yourself if you're thinking about, hey, do not sit on your legs. What game are we playing? And so what might we figure what that game we're playing is? Might we understand what kind of strength we're looking for? Might we find less confusion in the world? Might we get what we want in life faster and more concretely and more solidly? As we distill the idea of what this strength is. What is this strength thing? What should we focus on? What strength are we talking about? What strength does she want? What strength do you want? What strength does any man want? What kind of strength are we talking about? Be right back. Feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. World peace through individual strength. Waking up the globe in the mornings, physically and mentally and physically and spiritually and physically again. Please go ahead and tell a friends. Are you feeling in front of your shins? Then remembering that you do not sit on your legs. What kind of strength are we talking about when we talk about... I actually want strength. Well, we know physical is great. Because among everything, just like many things, just like everything, it's deeper than it seems, right? It's never as shallow as it looks, it's always deeper than it seems. Why? The ability to move heavy things does require what? A body that can do so. And that body doesn't happen overnight. There's discipline there. There's discipline there that takes months, years of discipline, of human discipline. It takes strength. Not just physical strength once they get there to be able to move it and the will to move it, but also the physical strength to discipline the body to be able to get that form in the first place. It takes strength, mental discipline. Even to know what to do takes mental discipline. To be able to understand that stuff, it takes strength on so many levels, right? Strength is so deep. It's not just about being able to push. It's not just about being able to push heavy things into one direction or the other, right? It's all of the precursors to that. The ability to discipline itself, to be able to do those kinds of things. Strong at chess, all the discipline that's required for that. The discipline to be able to read up on how to do that. To be able to keep calm in the moment. To be able to play as many games as you need to understand it. To be strong at it. There's all this implied time that people spend getting good at anything that you don't see. Every time you see someone do something great, that's always the tip of the iceberg. There's so much life that they've loved, so much time that they've spent loving this thing or obsessing over this thing to get great at that thing. That's strength, right? That is a strength, right? And also the ability to talk about it, to be able to spread it, to be able to not just participate in it, but to be able to inspire, to be able to light up that kind of inspiration within other people. Through the forest and through the trees, hitting families, inspiring people across the lands. Entire movements and waves of people following ideas of one person, all beginning to act in the same way that this person would like to see the world shape as they behave in the way that they believe, and they live their lives in the way that they believe. And as they get more influenced, more people try to be like that as they see the success that it reaps in. And so the world becomes more and more like this person, more and more like the wishes of this person, this will of this person, as their will gets passed on to other people who are getting inspired by it. The strength to freaking construct kingdoms. The strength to construct worlds. The strength to design entire realities based on this person's value systems. Insanity is so crazy. Strength to move a rock. Alright, that's true, there's strength to move a rock. But what about the strength to come up with ways to make everybody able to move a rock also? Which might be physically first, through that first person being able to move a rock. Everybody's got their meanings, everybody's got their place in time, everyone's got their role. Affect something that's right there in front of me and only that thing, like a cup. And be able to move the cup and get the water into my mouth. Or be able to ensure that dozens of millions of cups get distributed around the world to make sure that dozens of millions of people who weren't able to are able now to be able to get water into their mouths through a cup. Which one affected reality more? Which one has more strength? Which one is more strength? Which one could sustain more people should they need it? Should they need the help? Which one? Which one? So this ability to... which is amazing in and of itself, you might need to. But do we just respect the ability to move a heavy object? Or also, maybe if someone could do it for their physical body, do we not also respect the discipline? Do we not also respect the inner strength? Do we not always place more value on the inner strength? The ability to what? To push down a large... To push down a wall? To push down a large tree? Is that what we look for in people? Or is it all that discipline that they can teach? That they put themselves through also? All the lessons they've learned that they can pass on. Doesn't that make a strong role model? Not just the physical ability to move a heavy object, but also the discipline that it takes, the humility that it takes, the inner strength that it takes to motivate the self, which can come from having the proper worldview, can possibly provoke this inner strength within you. Why? Well, we know that having an improper worldview can totally crush your ability to bring out the beast in you. Like, should you believe that you have to do anything for anybody else? Should you believe that you are weightlifting in order to impress somebody? Well, because you are never going to know this person inside and out, and since this person is not you, and since this person, you're never going to know them 100%, since this person doesn't even know themselves, and you're not them. Humans are always a mystery to each other, right? You will never have the 100% 3D conviction that you would need to put your all into this weightlifting thing. But rather, if your worldview is properly adjusted to know that you should do everything for thyself, as in always take care of number one first, the inner conviction comes out and the beast comes out from within you, and the cork gets popped open and you're able to overload thyself with motivation before had never seen before in your own body. Like, how did that come about? Well, having the proper worldview isn't having the proper worldview a strength. Having the proper worldview of what you are, what the value of yourself is, isn't that a proper strength to invigorate you with the energy that you need to become the weightlifter that you believe yourself to be? Isn't having the proper worldview something that can invigorate you? So don't we see that inner strength, that proper inner worldview to be so much stronger? Since even if you have the bigger body, should you have the bad worldview, you will eventually not have the strength to continue in weightlifting, because your worldview of yourself would be so tarnished, so corrupted to think that you are not worth it, so you would stop weightlifting. Having a proper worldview is part of this inner strength thing. And basically, so what should we rely on? Which should we rely on? The physical strength in the outside world, or this inner strength? Well, only one begets the other, right? Only one begets the other. As in, the outside strength does not refill and continue to sustain and create more of this inner strength, right? However, the inner strength is designed to create more of this outer strength by design. As it manifests to the outside world, when this inner strength is cultivated stronger and stronger. Why? Because human beings are always living. So as we are always living, there are always situations for us to demonstrate strength at all times. And so what should we rely on? Inner strength. Why? Because a proper worldview is inner strength. That's a logical thing. Proper worldview is inner strength, and it's a logical thing. Say it with me. A proper worldview is inner strength, and that's a logical thing. Say it with me. A proper worldview is inner strength, and that's a logic thing. One more time. A proper worldview is inner strength. And that's a logical thing. And that's a logical thing. And anyone out there who has outer strength has inner strength. Of course you do. Otherwise you couldn't have that outer strength. It takes inner strength to get outer strength. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you have outer strength that you have inner strength. But it takes inner strength to get outer strength. We are always fluctuating. We are progress. We are moments in time. Always shifting. Always shifting. Always shifting. Always shifting and from the inside out. So when she says she likes strength, well, what game are we playing, right? We're all just kind of trying to overcome suffering, right? So strength can manifest in the forms of many things, as so long as it is helping us overcome suffering. Is that not true? So is overcoming struggle, overcoming conflict, is that not true? Is comedy not the same thing? Is having a proper worldview not the same thing as having inner strength? The ability to overcome suffering, the ability to deal with hardships, having a proper worldview helps you deal with hardships. Oh wow, they're able to make me laugh. Kind of helps me deal with hardships. Oh wow, they have the proper worldview on what a human being is. Kind of helps me with hardships. This inner strength. Oh wow, they're able to overcome hardships with laughter. Wow, kind of feels good. Helps me reduce suffering. I will always be suffering. As we are human beings, we always suffer. Wow, someone helps me overcome suffering. That's fantastic. Look at that strength. How did they overcome that suffering? Must have been through strength. How did they overcome through that suffering? Through cowardice? It's through strength. What are you looking for in this comedy thing? This is strength. What are you looking for in this life-loving versus death-fearing philosophy? This is strength. Isn't comedy just a strength? The ability to live in the moment, relax and balance in the moment, deny all human biases in the moment, to be as free and let the self-awareness stretch in any which way to create a humorous joke. Beep boop bop. To be able to go to any place that is unexpected and create a new, light experience that integrates another part of the human experience that might not be so heavy, that might not completely be parallel with the moment, to introduce a new moment to help us overcome suffering. Might that be a strength, a human strength to be able to resist the urge, to get too tempted to go into any one particular thought, to be able to keep the thought free, loose, humorous. Does that not take strength? Is that not strength? What is strength? See people talking about strength. Singing, is that a strength? Why is singing a strength? The ability to overcome a moment and feel good and have the breathing be relaxing, as we know that breathing is below this level of the Maslow's law of needs. Eat, sleep, water, the bodily functions on the lowest level of the Maslow's law of needs. Maslow's pyramid of needs, which is the pyramid that constructs what humans care about, what they're concerned with, on a pyramidic level, on a triangular level, whereas the most base level is like basic human function, sleep, food, water. These are basic things, but it's the lowest level, right? It's like what we concern ourselves with most often, the most regularly, and if we don't satisfy those, then we don't care about the other things: shelter, love, candies, duty, wisdom. We don't care about those if we're starving, we haven't had enough sleep, if we need water. We don't care about those other things, right? But guess what? There's one even below that. Breathing. Something even more urgent all the time. Breathing. Breathing. And so we want that one to be satisfied all the times, right? So someone who's laughing all the time, someone who's singing all the time, someone who's able to focus on a problem long enough that they can solve the problem but also have their breathing feel good. Someone who can construct an essay, a long-ass essay. Someone who can run a business. You know how much steady breathing you need to do to run a business like that? You have to study yourself so much through all the hate mail, through all the finances, through all the planning, through all the logistics, all this kind of... You have to study thyself. You have to be able to breathe, study thyself. Because every breath is like a life or death situation, right? Because you die every 5 minutes and that counter is reset for every breath you take. We know that this lowest level of Maslow's law of needs, Herbie's law of needs, the Palgoanic law of needs, breathing is at the lowest. So we care about breathing the most. We know that inner strength reflects the outer strength. That's why we focus on the inner strength, because it creates outer strength. Well, the outer strength of creating a business, that came from the inner strength of being able to breathe long enough to do all those crazy topics, with all this crazy activity that they have to go to create this larger business. It might be a small business too. It takes all that steady breathing, which means they're able to overcome conflict and scenarios and difficult hardships. No matter what they look like, isn't that attractive to be around? Isn't that kind of sexy? Isn't that kind of nice to be around, to know that no matter what happens, they'll be able to steady breathe, and steady enjoy in the moment, live life. As in breathe in the moment, love life. As in they're sure that the next life, or that they're certain that there will be a breath that will feel better. That's just what encourages them to go forward. That their breathing will feel better one. And doesn't that feel so good to know? That's all it is. We're just looking for some strength. Some inner strength to manifest that outer strength. The outer strength is real, for sure. But isn't there so much inner strength that creates that strength? Isn't there so much going on? Isn't there so much to appreciate, so much to love about it, that you can integrate any part of it and still increase it, and increase the value of your life, and just spiral upwards, just boost your life? How would that feel? Should we focus on this inner strength? Even the outer strength is created by inner strength. Be able to discipline yourself. Even the outer strength of having all that money, all that cash, comes from somebody's inner strength, being able to breathe in these moments. And why do we like those people? Because it allows them to breathe. And so maybe we can follow in their footsteps, as we are always resting on this first base layer of this Maslow's, this Palgoanic, Herbionic law of needs. Breathing is at the bottom. Most urgent, even more urgent than your next meal, is breath. Don't you want something to follow, to teach how to make this next one better than the next one, and the better than the last one, and better than the last one, but make the next breath better than the last, and then the next breath better than the last, and the next breath better than the last. And don't many different things do that? But isn't that all we're looking for? The strength to be able to do that. And so when we're looking at the sexes, isn't that all we're looking for? The ability to breathe in the next moment. And so what things encourage that within us? What things allow us to overcome that next bout of suffering, as each new breath is a bout of suffering, life or death. More urgent than your next meal, more urgent than your next sex, this breath. So what's gonna make that next breath better than the last? Well, many things can determine that, and many things indicate that. Like dancing, like having a lot of money, because you have to have a business to have a lot of that stuff. You have to have a lot of discipline to have that kind of value in the world. And to have that kind of discipline implies you have good breathing. And which one are you satisfying the most on the bottom? Breathing. So what are we looking for in our mates? This suffering overcomers. We're looking for that in the mates. We're looking for some strength. We see some deep inner strength in the woman's, in the man's. We see some deep inner strength manifesting to the outside world. But only one begets the other. Only one begets the other. Should we focus on being able to move a rock? Will that enable you to move more rocks? Or should we focus on the discipline that allowed you to move that rock? Because will that make you disciplined to do other things? Should we focus on your strength to be able to feel the front of your shins? Do you have strong skills at feeling the front of your shins? Do you have strong skills at remembering that you do not sit on your legs? Are we not just looking for strength to overcome suffering in the world? And is our most immediate suffering not breathing in the world? Are we not looking for someone who can do that for us, allow us to feel the most like ourselves, allow us to feel the most happy in the world, which requires strength? Who gives us strength? Love it. Hey. She said she likes inner strength. So I put a bunch of heavy stuff up and I put it back down again. And then she still left me. But what kind of strength are we talking about? Aren't there more problems to life than things that are just being picked up and moved around? You still got it in there within you, baby. You got that outer strength to lift up that heavy stuff. So what if she left you? Or so what if he left you? You got that superpower within you to just shift your awareness. You have the inner strength to get that outer strength. We just gotta shift that awareness to that inner strength. The thing that got you that outer strength, that discipline, you still got it within you, baby. On Pal, go on. She said she likes strength on True Love Tuesdays. It is July 13, 2021. Can you believe it? We're in 2021, guys. Second half of 2021. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today on True Love Tuesdays on Pal Go On. I hope you're going to have the best day. I hope you're already having the best day of your life today. As we focus on this inner strength thing that creates this outer strength thing. This outer strength thing is great. We need things done, guys. There are problems in the world that needs things done. So we need the strength to do it, but that strength comes from within, that inner strength, baby. From within you. From within you. From your ability to move your superpower, which is your awareness, into some really nice objectives. Objectives. As in objectively placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times. And then remembering that you do not sit on your legs as you feel the front of your shins. As in objectively. What are we doing here on Earth? Objectively. We're suffering most of the time. As in, if it's not breathing, well, you got food, you got water, you got sleep, all things that your body's constantly pining for. That your body's constantly suffering for. And below those, you're constantly suffering for every breath as you die every 5 minutes, but it's refreshed by a breath, and your breath takes strength. It takes power, it takes knowledge. If it wasn't the case, we wouldn't need yoga classes, Pilates to remind you how to breathe. If it wasn't the case, if it was the case that breathing wasn't suffering, then we wouldn't need yoga and Pilates and all that stuff, would we? We would just be doing it all the time easily. But alas, breathing is suffering. Living is suffering. You're just suffering until your next release, and then you suffer again till your next release. But that's no issue. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's just how music works too. Resolve and tension. Where are my musicians at? Right? That's what makes life is this resolved intention. As in each breath is resolved intention. More immediate than your next meal. More dire than life and death. You are suffering constantly. So are we looking for ways to overcome this suffering of these breaths? The ability to feel the next breath better. Is that the strength that we're looking for? We'll see you tomorrow, guys. I love you. I'm Pal Go On. Tomorrow's Warfare Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, it's so crazy. This family stuff, yo. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about family on Warfare Wednesday. All right. My name is Herbie. Good morning. And this has been Pal Go On. See ya. Oh, yeah. Wait. One more thing. Don't forget to feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine. And then into the rainbow arches at all other times. And are you feeling the front of your shins? Say it with me. I do not sit on my legs. Say it with me. I do not sit on my legs. Say it with me. I do not sit on my legs. Your morning would feel so good on Pal Go On.